Iran says there will be no deal and tried to bomb one of our boats and the boats of a French person. Trump said there will be no Iran. And then Iran said, okay, let's make a deal. It's pretty diabolical stuff. Insane things happening today. And that's why you get the deep dives on all the things here on the channel. From geopolitics to woke woman downfalls. It's all here. Definitely subscribe. The Donald made the following tweet. Today, an Iranian-flagged cargo ship named Touska, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. Why? The U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyer USS Spruance intercepted the Touska on the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in their engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Touska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activities. You know, they're terrorists. We will have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board. President Donald J. Trump. This is what we call FAFO. Under the current blockade over Iran, which is more devastating to Iran than the actual bombing, which is pretty diabolical, they are losing around $400 to $500 million a day by the fact that they can't export any oil. The Strait of Hormuz, which every internet dipshit on the planet was talking about how, oh my god, I can't believe Trump didn't figure out that they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz. Trump has been totally outplayed. Well, the Strait of Hormuz is open to literally everyone except for Iran, who is gargling in their own blood, slowly dying a very painful and entertaining death. They tried to get something past the blockade because that's their only lifeline, and well, let's just say Donald Trump was not Donald bluffing. All right, as you can see, this is a video of U.S. forces firing into an Iranian-flagged vessel after it violated a maritime blockade on the Arabian Sea. All right, a lot of people are like, oh, why does Trump have the right to do this? Who's going to stop him? Who's gonna stop him? That's right. That's why he has the right to do it. Under international law, which just basically means whatever the fuck Donald Trump wants to do, this is perfectly valid. You can see, there it is. There's a little ship. It's doing its thing. A little bit of smoke coming out.
Motor vessel Touska. Motor vessel Touska. Vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room.
Oh, that was nice.
We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Hey, guys. Leave the engine room or it will get ugly. We gave them advance warning. And where's the kaboom? Damn. Yeah, and disabling fire happened, and kaboom, and that's it, and we took the ship, and it's ours now. That's just how it works. I know people are saying, but you can't just take things that other people, and yes, you can actually just take things that other people have, but that's called stealing. It says in the Bible, that I don't believe in at all, because I'm a atheist, thou shalt not steal. Well, it also says in the Bible that you capture your enemy's shit after defeating them in war. Yep, and that's just how the world works, whether you like it or not, unfortunately. Every woke Jew and fake Christian on the planet loves trying to abuse and mutilate your own ideologies against you. Well, all you have to do is understand your faith better than they do, which isn't very hard. Joshua 8:2, you shall do to Ai and its king as you did to Jericho and its king, except that you may carry off their plunder and livestock for yourselves. Set an ambush behind the city. Joshua 11:14. The Israelites took for themselves all the plunder and the livestock of these cities, but all the people they put to the sword until they completely destroyed them. They left no survivors. All right, because the war doctrine of the Bible, as it states in Deuteronomy 20:10, when you march up a city to attack, make its people an offer of peace. If they accept and open their gates, all the people in it shall be subject to forced labor and shall work for you. If they refuse to make peace and they engage you in battle, lay siege to the city. When the Lord your God delivers it into your hand, put to the sword all the men in it. As for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take these as plunder for yourselves. What I'm trying to say is, don't let them manipulate you with empathy and bullshit. I feel like there's a huge op from illiterate retards around the world trying to explain to you how actually it's totally not valid to defeat your enemies in war. And they try to hit you with all these moral soliloquies. The reality is, when you go to war with the enemies, you go to war to win. I'm not saying it's good to always be going to war and shit, but if the war starts, you win. That's how it works. And you win by either them dying or them surrendering. Those are the two options. Now, before we get too deep into the chaos, 3,000 years ago, it was promised to me that I would be able to introduce you to Outskill. Outskill is an AI-focused education platform designed to help you apply AI in your work. And it's already impacted over 10 million people across 100 plus countries. And the best part, it's completely free. So you can explore, learn, and see real value. Outskill's 2-day live AI mastermind is happening this weekend, 16 hours from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. EST on Saturday and Sunday, designed for a global audience with a well-suited time. It condenses the experience of 100 plus practitioners from companies like NVIDIA and Microsoft who've witnessed and built through the AI boom. Their main focus is to make you AI independent, to understand exhaustion gaps in AI space, and keep you up to date to increase your earning potential through just implementing AI. In just 16 hours, here is what you will master: building AI agents that plan, execute, and report for you, automating workflow that runs even while you sleep, connecting tools like Sheets, Notions, etc. to create profitable systems, using AI to save hours every week and get an unfair advantage at work. You will also go back with free bonuses worth $5,000 approximately, which includes an amazing AI prompt Bible, a personalized AI toolkit builder, and even a roadmap to gain profit through AI that will top your AI learning experiences with them. Also, right now, just by registering, you will get access to their exclusive AI survival hackbook, which itself will keep you informed of all the major AI shifts happening around. They have a great 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot and an impressed array of learners. Just click that link in the description or scan the QR code and stay updated by joining their WhatsApp community before the big blast. 'Tis the ultimate leering center. Now back to the chaos. Iran could have avoided this war. All they needed to do was not be committing acts of terrorism for the last 47 years, trying to assassinate the president of the United States multiple times, and try to develop nuclear weapons to obliterate us. And yes, there's new evidence that they were actually building nukes. They could have avoided it. They didn't, and now they're going to either die or surrender, and there's no option in between. All right, just in, Iran launches drone attack towards U.S. military ships. Huge mistake trying to touch a U.S. military ship. Iran, the vessel struck by the U.S. forces traveling from China to Iran. Remember when all the retards were saying, "Oh my God, Trump would never mess with China"? Well, yeah, anyway, that didn't age very well at all. An Iranian factory linked to Iran's shipbuilding and industry reportedly went up in smoke. The cause is unclear. No one knows. There's a ceasefire. It wasn't us. What are you talking about? Who knows? Who knows who did this? I don't, that's for sure. Every lip-dart on the planet. But Obama made a deal. The Iranians pinky promised they weren't going to build a bomb. Now, here's the craziest part. The Democrats, the actual people in power, the Congress people, the retards, etc., they are still, to this day, trying to lie about the fact that Iran is actually trying to build nuclear weapons.
You need to get Iran back to the place that they agreed to in 2015-16.
But they fucking lied, Baldo. Like, so this is the Democrat position. It's like, oh, we just need to make them pinky promise. And we already had that under Obungus. President Barunkus Hussein Obungus already got them to pinky promise. Trump fucked it all up, didn't he?
That they would never seek to acquire, develop nuclear weapons.
Except they lied.
Agreed to that, Donald.
Oh, they agreed. That's nice, but they lied. They had highly enriched uranium.
Trump tore that up. You need to...
Oh, Trump tore it up. Yeah, but they lied. So that's the craziest part. So this is a senator who just openly lying on the mainstream media to essentially convince people that Iran never tried to lie or build a nuke. Here we have Nick Fuentes. I always find this shit so unbelievable. When Charlie Kirk died, Trump said he doesn't love his enemies, he hates them. On Easter, Trump didn't celebrate the resurrection, but threatened a genocide, which, by the way, made them surrender and make a peace deal. So, just saying. Now Trump compares himself to Jesus Christ and declared war on the church. Right? He never declared war on the church. He is the Antichrist in league with Israel. Now, I love these, personally. I love these tweets. I think they're always very funny. Hitler didn't go far enough to gas the Jews violently and grind all brown people into a fine paste, burning them alive in an active volcano and consuming their charred flesh. 1488 Sig Heil Groiper, when Trump is a meanie online. See, I always find it the funniest thing in the world. You have all these, like, Hitler-hailing guys on the internet being like, oh, Hitler was so fucking cool. Trump made a mean tweet. It's like, you can't even take this shit seriously. Iran rejects participating in a second round of peace talks with the United States. And then we bombed their ship, and then they agreed. UAE official says over 90% of Iran's targets were civilian infrastructure. Yes, we know, they're terrorists. A French ship was damaged by warning shots in the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, well, that sucks for you guys, I guess. Damn, that really sucks. And the craziest part is, one of Iran's large homies over there in the Middle East is Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed terror cell operating in Lebanon. And here we have Antonio Guterres, complete fucking retard in the UN. I strongly condemn Saturday's attack on the UN French person, during which one French peacekeeper was killed and another 3 was injured. Who killed him? Saturday? I condemn Saturday's attack. Well, damn it, Saturday. I can't believe you killed that French peacemaker. I extend my deepest condolences to the family, the friends, the colleagues, the fallen peacekeeper, blah, 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 yada, yada. This is the 3rd incident in recent weeks. Deaths of peacekeepers. Who's killing them? Who's killing them, bro? These attacks must stop. All actors must, whatever. And then he even edited. This is after editing the tweet. After editing the tweet, as you can see, this has 600,000 likes and 1,000 likes. 600, 100, like, that's really bad. That's a bad ratio. 600,000 views, 1,000 likes. And the reality is because Hezbollah killed them, the terrorists, except the UN is pro-Islamic terror. So the UN is actually running defense for Hezbollah. All right? Guterres is pathologically incapable of saying Hezbollah. He can't admit it exists because that means 2 things. 1, the UN failed, right? Because there's actual terrorist organizations wandering around. And 2, Israel has a reason to fight in Lebanon. You know, because of Hezbollah. So therefore, when you have a French guy, a French peacekeeper, and it's honestly sad, tragic that this guy was killed by a terrorist, all right? And then the actual government can't even find it within themselves, like the UN and all these people that supposedly care about this shit, right? They can't even find it within themselves to name the perpetrator, you know, the terrorist organization that killed him. At this point, omitting Hezbollah is an oversight, it's policy. Mind-boggling how Antonio Guterres can post about a Hezbollah terror attack in Lebanon without mentioning its perpetrator. It's like reviewing Jaws and not mentioning sharks. It's insane. Now, you thought that was bad. Well, don't worry. Chief faggot extraordinaire, gay retard, Emmanuel Macron decided to show up. President of France. Sergeant-Chef Florian Montoya of the 17th Parachute Engineer Regiment from Montalban fell this morning in southern Lebanon during an attack on UNIFIL. Very sad stuff, by the way. I'm reading it in his retard accent, but it's very sad. It's heartbreaking. 3 of his brothers in arms are wounded and have been evacuated. The nation bows with respect and support extends to their families, our soldiers, and all military personnel engaged in peace in Lebanon. Everything suggests that the responsibility lies with Hezbollah. Yeah. The fucking terrorist organization. France demands the Lebanese authorities immediately arrest the perpetrators. It's a fucking terrorist organization. And take responsibility. What are we even doing? Like, these guys are so unbelievably pathetic. It's unreal how pathetic these guys are. This is an Iranian-backed terror organization that killed one of your people. You make this entire statement basically saying, man, I really hope Lebanon starts telling terrorists to stop doing terror attacks, even though they've been operating in their country for the last 40 years. And while he's doing this with one hand, with the other hand, he's condemning Trump for getting involved in some sort of conflict when an Iran-backed terrorist killed a French peacemaker. And the best part of it all is he doesn't do fucking anything about it. This entire tweet, I'm really sad this terrorist killed a guy. I'm gonna do fucking nothing, actually. Hezbollah killed a French soldier. France plans on doing nothing in response. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. But these people are like actual pussies. It's unreal. All right, now for those of you paying attention to how the terrorist regimes in the Middle East have been doing, all right, you know, remember how everyone was talking about how like there's a starvation in Gaza, and Gaza they're all starving. Well, the numbers are in, and since the start of the ceasefire, 600 trucks per day on average, 1.5 million plus tons of food, 650,000 plus tents, 70,000 tons of hygiene supplies, 12,000 tons of medical equipment, 6,500 trucks of winter supplies went into Gaza. There is no starvation. It was never a thing. There was never a genocide. And people, you need to literally shut the fuck up. It's like, it's unreal, right? They hate everything that America touches, or that Israel touches, because, I mean, everyone views Israel as an extension of American power. Now, the craziest part is 700 square kilometers have been taken from Hezbollah into Lebanon. As you can see, this is all Lebanon. This is the border between Lebanon and Israel. And as you can see, they took a couple of, they made a red line where they said, all right, we're taking this area now. All right, Hezbollah has been existing over here for a very long time. They've been shooting missiles into Israel for a very long time. And we're tired of this shit. So we're just taking this area. And to prove how unprecedented this is, Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire anyway, because Trump was going to fucking kill all of them. And the Israeli military was doing a really good job cleaning them out. You know, the Lebanese government could have dealt with Hezbollah for the last 40 years, and they felt that they decided they didn't want to do that. That's a Lebanon problem. And you know that the reason why Hezbollah is backing down is because Trump is threatening Iran big time. So that just proves how unbelievable our winning is right now. Now, the IDF has been releasing Hezbollah body cam footage, revealing how the terrorist organization stages and films propaganda videos, which is crazy. It's crazy that they do this. It's actually wild. How they sit there, they're all prepared, they're ready to go, they do their whole thing, they get the camera crew there. All right, now scream Allahu Akbar as they take the children and they dress them in their terrorist outfits. All right, Syria released footage of them seizing and arresting Hezbollah operatives and their equipment. This is a whole new Middle East, and Trump is doing it through bombing a couple of retards in Iran. You got Syria out there. Syria disarming Hezbollah. Oh my God. Now Hamas, another Iranian-backed terror organization, which everyone seems to have forgot existed, Hamas is currently trading rice and sugar for raping the widows of other Palestinians. That's right. They have a brand new policy. You want food? You must let us rape you now. It's, again, this is Hamas, terrorist organization. You'll remember them because Hassan Piker supports them. Literally look at what's going on. This is the Daily Mail. This is like a left-wing news site. Gazan women break silence. Exclusive. Women living under Hamas rule describe how they are sexually abused by the terror group's fighters. They are literally gang raped in exchange for being given food. And as I already showed you, there is a fuck ton of food going into Gaza right now. All right, there is no starvation. All right, so all this food goes into Gaza. It gets grabbed by the terrorist organization, and then the terrorist organization only gives it to widows and women in general if they let themselves get gang raped in exchange. Like, this is the brutal bullshit that we need to be dealing with and we need to be lectured by. Right? These motherfuckers really want to morally lecture us. Apparently there was an Iran-directed terror plot in Azerbaijan, which was just foiled as well. It's pretty wild watching it happen all the time. Like, again, the leftists are in the street screaming that we're not allowed to be fighting Iran, and they are moral, and they're rooting for Iran. Well, let's see what Iran policy is.
This regime, these Islamists, they believe that if a woman is killed and she's a virgin, she goes to heaven. So what they do is they will gang rape her before they execute her. And it's just mind-boggling to me, this Elizabeth Banks sitting comfy in a little cushy couch on a podcast with her hair slicked back, talking about how could anyone vote for Donald Trump. Well,
yeah. Oh, Trump is such a bad guy. He's a war president. He's the Antichrist. He's so bad. He's so evil. He's bombing these innocent mullahs that gang rape women before executing them so they don't go to heaven. Like, what are we even doing here? Now, the truth of the matter is, Iran is in absolute shambles right now. You know, one day they say they're not willing to do a ceasefire, then we bomb one of their boats, and then the blockade actually works. And then, oh yeah, we would love a ceasefire actually.
Well, the Iranian command and control and government is in absolute disarray because of the devastating attacks across its leadership.
But I was told that Iran was winning the war by a Pakistani.
You're right. You heard the Iranian foreign minister say it's open, and then the IRGC step in and say, no, it's closed. Regardless, it's the
like complete disarray.
The blockade, the U.S. Navy, and President Trump, who's ultimately deciding what gets in and out. So he has completely turned the tables on Iran's attempt to hold the entire world's economies hostage.
That's right. You want to block the Strait of Hormuz? Well, I'll blockade your blockade, motherfuckers. Even CNN forced to admit it, bro.
The United States produces more oil than we consume.
Oh my God. This is crazy. CNN, who, by the way, has been saying that Iran is winning the war the whole time.
Net exporter of oil to the world, and we're by far and away the world's largest net exporter of natural gas. We definitely want energy from everywhere we can get it. We're driving nuclear forward in the Trump administration. But in the last 20 years, the world spent $10 trillion on wind, solar, and batteries.
On green shit, on woke energy. And just like everything else woke, it makes it go broke. It's just, it's trash.
It hasn't made it to 3% of global energy, and it's just
spending trillions on woke bullshit, and it doesn't work. And now we drill, we have oil, we have Iran by the balls. We're absolutely dominating them, breaking. The White House declared a media lid at 3 p.m., which means something crazy is happening, and something crazy happens. Trump says Iran deal to be signed today in Pakistan. Again, who knows what actually happens, but what I do know is that these guys definitely want to make a deal. Because after Iran decided to fire a couple of bullets at our ships, remember when I told you, big mistake, never touch our boats? They'll never touch our boats. You know, they shot some French ships. They shot at our ships. Now, then they rejected peace talks. Well, Trump made this tweet. Iran decided to fire bullets yesterday in the Strait of Hormuz, a total violation of our ceasefire agreement. Iran firing bullets? It's so over, bro. It's so over. They touched our boats. Many of them were aimed at a French ship and a freighter for the United Kingdom. That wasn't nice, was it? Oh my God. Right, just to understand, like, we made a ceasefire with them. We won't bomb them. They won't bomb us. They shot a French guy, and Trump was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not like Macron is going to do anything about it. Whoa, I'm here. I am here. That wasn't very nice. My representatives are going to Islamabad, Pakistan. They will be there tomorrow evening for negotiations. That's today. Iran recently announced that they were closing the strait, which is strange because our blockade already closed it. They're helping us without knowing, and they are the ones that lose with the closed passage. $500 million a day. The United States loses nothing. In fact, many ships are headed right now to the U.S., Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska to load up. Compliments to the IRGC. Always wanting to be the tough guy. We're offering a very fair and reasonable deal, and I hope they take it because if they don't, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Oh my God. They'll come down fast, they'll come down easy, and if they don't take the deal, it will be my honor to do what has to be done, what should have been done to Iran by other presidents for the last 47 years. It's time for the Iran killing machine to end. President Donald J. Trump. That is huge. And now all of a sudden they want to make a deal. Like, look at these flip-flopping retards. It's honestly incredible. It's like these guys are so gutsy and ballsy when they're raping female prisoners before executing them. And then they shoot a bullet at a French ship. They figure nothing's going to happen, and then Trump drops this fucking nuke. Everyone's like, oh my God, is Trump threatening civilian infrastructure? Is Trump making a threat? Oh my God. Like, literally, these people scream death to America all the time. They're trying to develop nukes to kill us. Can you literally chill the fuck out? This is a tweet, for crying out loud. He made a tweet. Like, dude, this man makes a tweet and everyone's like, he's a war criminal. He made a tweet. Oh, the Iran rapists, terrorists, pedophile murderers that have massacred 40,000 of their own people? Whatever, that's cool, actually. We don't really mind. So this is massive. You know, a lot of people saying that Trump got into this war for Israel and stuff. Trump wanted to debunk that rumor. Israel never talked me into war with Iran. The results of October 7th added to my lifelong opinion that Iran could never have a nuclear weapon did. I watch and read the fake news, pundits and polls in total disbelief. 90% of what they say are lies and made up stories. And the polls are rigged, much as the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Just like the results in Venezuela, which the media doesn't like talking about. True, by the way. That was a magnanimous W. Remember when Tucker Carlson said, oh my God, Trump is attacking Venezuela? Venezuela? We're going to lose thousands of soldiers. I can't believe it. Right, well, that didn't happen, thank God. The results in Iran will be amazing, and if Iran's new leaders, regime change, are smart, Iran can have a great and prosperous future. I feel bad for Trump, man. I really do. This dude managed to survive getting vilified, almost killed, almost imprisoned, you know, obliterated by leftists. And fake news over there. And then finally, he actually manages to win his next election. And now the fake news is coming from, like, the retards that are paid off by Pakistan and whatever other fucking shithole. Now, to be clear, I wouldn't consider this a regime change, personally. I think it's kind of still the same regime, even though it's technically different people. And while I definitely think Israel does gain advantage by the fact that this war is taking place, that's, I think, just because we have similar enemies. And I think this war was never about Israel. I think this war was ultimately about America. We have proof from libtard, like, retard audiences, 60 Minutes and shit like that, ABC, all right, the UN, they all admit that Iran had 60% enriched uranium. They all admit that Iran was attempting to build a nuclear weapon. They all admit that they tried to assassinate Trump multiple times and they massacred tens of thousands of their own people. Like, these are evil chuckle fucks that would do anything in their power to destroy us whenever they gain the ability. So my position has been from day one and still is to this day, if you know that inevitably you're going to need to obliterate those motherfuckers, do it when they're weak as shit. Do it now, when we're strong and they're fucking pathetic and gay. The leftist position, as I showed you earlier, is, well, yeah, we believe that they are developing nuclear weapons, but we have to wait for them to nuke us in order to respond. Do not fall for the psyop, all right? We were at war now for like 40 days with no boots on the ground, all right? This is a honestly monumental achievement, and we'll see where it goes. But don't let the dipshits and the retards psyop you, all right? Because this is massive. And, well, ultimately, I guess time will tell if Iran will keep its bridges and power plants. Don't fuck with the Donald. Now, things are actually happening, but you have to open your eyes to see the lefty policy, the quite literally communist Bolshevik revolution that's happening right under our own toenails, while the dipwads argue about, you know, which foreign country is actually secretly controlling Trump this week. All right, so Marco Rubio made this tweet, and it's awesome. The Trump administration continues to make our nation and region safer and stronger. Today, I'm taking steps to impose visa restrictions on 75 individuals who are family members or close associates of persons linked to the Sinaloa cartel, sanctioned under Executive Order 14059. State Department will continue to protect Americans from dangerous narco-terrorists and deadly drugs based. All right, we got to get these people out of our country. And Marco is actually moving along, you know, by the dozen, by the hundred. He's picking them up at the scruff of their neck and throwing them out. And this is absolutely what needs to be done. Is it enough? Is it, you know, the correct amount of people? I personally would prefer if we just simply loaded them all into trebuchets and launched them away. You're not a citizen. You're not legal in the country. Whee! But I really like that Marco Rubio is actually going after the visas. I think this is actually massive. He's going after the people that actually are legal in the country, but, well, we don't actually like that you're in the country, so we're just going to revoke your visa. We revoked your visa. You're no longer legal in the country. We're going to get rid of you now. And I think this is based. Now, a leftist empath would tell you, I have empathy, so I really want rapists to rape as many people in our country as possible. That's because they have empathy. Now, I don't have retard empathy, so therefore I actually don't want to get raped by cartel members. Remember, the leftist position, they have so much empathy. They want everyone around them to get raped. But because they don't want to be xenophobic to the little brown person. All right, so I think we have to understand the deal that's going on here. Now, to understand, Donald Trump posted this. Tulsi Gabbard exposing the deep state for trying to impeach Trump. And Trump actually posted this. This is huge, by the way.
Time to expose the truth to the American people about the deep state tactics that have been used time and time again, fundamentally to undermine the foundational principles of our republic, and in so many cases to undermine the decisions that the American people make when they cast their votes in our elections to decide who they want to lead our country. And so the documents that we released really pointed to the fact that the 2019 impeachment occurred because there were members of the intelligence community working directly with House Democrats, specifically Adam Schiff, who's on the House Intelligence Committee at the time, concocting this narrative, weaponizing the whistleblower process, lying and abusing their power, all to create this manufactured basis that Nancy Pelosi then used to drive this impeachment against Donald Trump in 2019. I'll hit the high points on these documents.
That is heavy treason, by the way, if true. All right? That means that based on bullshit, they were trying to take down a duly elected president of the United States. Now, to be clear, I always thought this was the case. I think we all knew that his impeachment was bullshit just because they hated Trump. That said, if we have actual evidence of it, these people are going to jail.
There are details and hundreds of pages of transcripts that we released in conjunction with House Intel Chairman Rick Crawford. But the bottom line is this. Number one, the whistleblower, so-called whistleblower who came forward, presented no evidence and no first-hand knowledge. This is a...
So that is actually kind of massive. All right. In fact, it gets even massiver because they are saying now that arrests are actually coming. All right. I got the tabs kerfuffled. But as you can see, Kash Patel went on Fox News to say they're actually going after them and putting them in jail.
I lived through it and the media came at me then, too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media is going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one.
That's crazy, by the way. Right? That the top of the FBI was locked out of specific cases and shit is absolute insanity.
To see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop on. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors, the Department of Justice, and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests. And
that's what I love to hear. All right, now he's guaranteeing it. Again, this guy was talking about Epstein file transparency, so I'm not exactly dancing the Irish jig right now. But the reality is, wake me when someone's in jail. I want to see powerful leftoids going to jail for treason. I think it would make me very happy. Nux, you mean you're going to watch them go after their political opponents? Fuck yeah. Obviously. What are we fucking talking about here? These guys allegedly tried to steal the country. What are we talking about? Well, are you being serious? These guys tried to steal the fucking country, you know, and destroy our democracy. All right, for whatever it is, as some sort of they call it a democracy. Yeah, these people need to go to jail for sure. But it's the political opponents. Yeah, fuck yeah, jail, all of them. Yes, every single one.
And it's coming, and I promise you, it's coming soon.
Well, that's big. Really, really big, if true. Unfortunately, everything takes so long in this country because they're too busy giving money to Somalis or whatever the fuck. But, dude, this is massive.
Well, Cash, hold on, because when you started this interview, you said, Maria, you and I have been working together for a long time, and this is exactly what you were referring to. You were on my show repeatedly talking about the Russia collusion story, and our audience wants to know why there's never any accountability.
Exactly.
But specifically, the question that I asked you was about election integrity and whether or not you have any information to verify what President Trump says all the time, which is the election was rigged.
And who knows? Anyway, I want to see people going to jail. He promises arrests are coming, and I guess time will tell. Now, 60 Christians were just killed in an attack in the northeastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. They were murdered by Muslims for the crime of refusing to convert to Islam. Many such cases. Very excited to hear what the Pope has to say about this. I'm including it in this video because unfortunately no one talks about it. Unfortunately, I don't know. Muslims killing Christians is like not news, I guess. So no one talks about it, so I include it in my videos whenever I can. However, a super important issue in this country is the gigantic psyop being perpetrated by Bolsheviks, all right, by leftoids, by communists, like these retards that go on Tucker Carlson's show and say, actually, socialism is a Christian ideology and capitalism is anti-Christian, all right, which is absolute horse shit if you read the Bible, which obviously these people don't. So anyway, this is a priest in a church asking the Lord to take Donald Trump.
That war is taking place, which is absolutely outrageous. There's no need for it. We pray for peace in the world. Pray for Donald Trump. The Lord will take him.
We pray for peace, and we pray for that the Donald Trump gets taken by the Lord. This is diabolical shit. I'm sorry, man. I think this is pretty evil. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not here. I think that ultimately there's a woke priest problem and there's a woke Jew problem. I'm not trying to minimize it to one specific religion or anything. I think that there are infiltrations in almost every single one of our religious schools of thought to try their absolute best to psyop us from within to not to either completely and utterly disregard our faith or to convince us that our faith demands us to become libtard baby killers. But it's unbelievable watching this psyop take place. He asked the Lord to kill Donald Trump. So yeah, anyway, I'm not like saying this to hold this against any specific religion or group of people in specific religions, but this is evil shit. It really is. During Mass, a priest asked the Lord to take Donald Trump. The entire congregation started laughing as a Catholic shameful behavior. Now, in my opinion, this is unbelievable. I think manipulating your faith is like classic devil's handiwork, and we're seeing it literally everywhere to drive a massive wedge between people. And it's pretty diabolical. It's actually diabolical in the biblical way, the biblical sense. All right. Now, things are actually happening in the country. 500 hospices shut down in LA. All right. So, you know, the citizen journalism is actually working.
We've already shut down 500 hospices in Los Angeles. And
I love how we don't ever hear this from like the media or like from our leftoid influencers that make believe they care about corruption, which they don't, obviously. All right. I mean, I saw, you know, Moist Critical made 17 videos about the Trump phone. I didn't see a single video about this. This isn't even political. This isn't even political. It is bipartisan that we shouldn't want foreigners to come into our countries and rape us and defraud us. This should not be a political position.
Incidentally, we haven't had one call from Congress or anybody else about complaining because clearly these were fraudulent. A lot of these places, you'd say they'd have, they were just invented addresses. They would obtain patient identification, or they would pay people. They were going and giving people in poor neighborhoods flat screen televisions, $600, and then they would enlist them and enroll them in the hospice, and we were paying them $6,000.
Absolute insanity. And this was happening under our noses, and it only stopped because of citizen journalism, because we stood up and because we fought back. And I think the mostly young people in this generation are just fucking tired and done with it. We're done with the emotional blackmailing. We're done with the bullshit. We're done with the, you know, or actually we're not allowed to tell boys to be boys. Boys aren't allowed to be boys anymore. You have to castrate yourself. You have to not be competitive. If you're competitive, that means you're bad. Participation trophies for everybody. Male spaces, that's ridiculous. We're gonna make everyone fat and gay. Men being cool, that's insane. Marvel from this moment forward will not have a single cool male character, all right? Like, we are living in a society that hates us, that actively works against us all the time, that prioritizes every group in the country, whether it's a minority gender, which is retarded because obviously there's no such thing, or a minority sexual orientation, or a minority race, all right, foreigner, over you. The entire system worked against us for our entire lives. You know, basically, we were handed this life where the system's been working against us, and we're tired of it. We're just tired of it. You know, you can't call me xenophobic because I don't want Armenian fraudsters to be taking fraud through these hospices. And in fact, if you do call me xenophobic, I actually don't fucking care. My position is simple. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. And in fact, it's bad everywhere. All right, this is how the leftist policy rapes you. All right, 8 children are dead after a shooting in Louisiana. Victims range in age 18 months to 15 years. What a nightmare. So the second I saw this, I was sitting with my wife, and my wife told me, like, she saw this first. She showed me what happened. I'm like, oh, damn. It was probably a black guy. And she was like, that's racist. How could you say that? And I was like, well, it's simple. It doesn't say who killed the people. If it was a Muslim, he would have blown something up. If it was a transgender, he would have shot up a church. But just killing people in, like, individual houses, that's and it doesn't say who it is. That's a black guy, which obviously is racist as fuck, except I was right. So obviously, you know, heartbreaking God, heartbreaking. It really is. It's a complete nightmare that this happened. But the reason why I bring this up is because apparently this dude was, he was on watch before. He was arrested before. Like, we had almost every single person that actually goes ahead and commits one of these atrocities was just, I don't know, some judge decided it would be better if this person was on the street, actually. It's insane. And if you actually look at the actual prison listings, all right, you will think that, wow, there's really a white crime problem in America. As you can see, all these people are identified as white in the prison index. Ortiz Antonio, Jose Manuel, Vasquez Diaz, Mejia or Eglain, Bautista Perez, Leopoldo, classic white people, am I right? And it's honestly insane. And the entire system has worked against us, and we're just tired of this shit. Now, there's another way that this system works against us. And it's not just through crime, it's not just through migration or fraud, because I'm going to show you more migration shit in a bit. This is what California politicians do all day at work. This is California Senator Scott Wiener celebrating bullying a coffee shop into putting up pride flags.
Phil's just announced that the pride flags are going back into Phil's locations. This is a huge win for the community. It's amazing. And huge thanks to all of the Phil's baristas who advocated and who fought for our community. Thank you.
Right. So this is what these people do. All right. You work, you pay taxes, an exorbitant amount of taxes if you're in California. And the taxes go to the government sometimes. Sometimes it goes to Somalia. But when it does go to the government, it goes to gay dipshits that really want to introduce children to sodomy. You know, I feel like if you're a kid and you're going to a coffee shop, you have to think about men's penises penetrating other men. Otherwise, how could you even enjoy your coffee, right? And here's the thing that never happens. Canadian LGBT activist, founder of the Innisfil Pride, had appeared on court and charged with sex trafficking. So weird that this happened. So weird. Jake Tucker, who had a baby he obtained through surrogacy with his husband, is also facing sexual assault charges. Now, this is a thing that unfortunately happens way too much. This video was going giga viral. Just look at how leftist policies rape you, man. It's heartbreaking. All right, so this is a baby that was adopted or through surrogacy or whatever by two gay dads. All right, and the dad asks the baby, choose which dad you want.
Who do you want, Dada or Pop?
Dada or Pop. These are the options. And the baby says, Mama. Because, I mean, obviously.
No, Mama. Do you want Dada or Pop? Who do you want, Dada or Pop?
Try it again.
Nope.
No, Mama. And they laugh at the baby.
Do you want Dada? You want Pop? No way, Jose. I think. Oh, there is no Mama. I'm so sorry. You have Dada. And you have.
This is just heartbreaking. Like the first time I watched this, I almost cried. Not even gonna lie. This is actually heartbreaking.
Pop. Two choices. No Mama. No. No Mama. Dada or Pop? No.
It's just actually heartbreaking. It's actually fucking heartbreaking. It's unbelievable. You know, I have an old joke. I have an old joke that I used to tell and then I got canceled for. So I'm gonna say it again because getting canceled just means you're onto something these days. Yeah, back when America abolished slavery, they started forbidding the purchasing of humans unless you're a homosexual. That was the joke. Was it funny? Anyway, so apparently this gay couple has an entire series of TikToks or Instagram posts or whatever the fuck talking about how their baby is homophobic because their baby wants their mom.
You're such a happy boy. Yeah, you are. Yeah, because you have a brother. Yeah, and you have a sister. Yeah, and you have two puppies. And two dads? Oh. You're such
Ha ha ha, the baby doesn't look super happy to be having two dads. Homophobic baby. Ha ho. And it's honestly insane shit. It really is. Now, I'll get to my take in just a minute. But there is a really scary trend that you'll start noticing. And I get people calling me homophobic all the time because I believe that sodomy is actually a sin and an abomination against God. Oops. Anyway, another baby raped by a gay couple to death. This is Preston Davey, 13-month-old, placed with a gay couple for adoption in Blackpool. One former teacher. 3 months later, he was dead. Anyway, this is a thing that you'll notice happens a lot if you pay attention. But this is one of those things that you're not allowed to notice because obviously it's homophobic. Gay male couples adopt boys at massively higher rates. 81.8% boys in one study, versus 50% for heterosexual couples. That's right. You would think that it should be 50%. Right, just by chance. A parents that are adopting a child, you'd think that it should be 50% male, 50% female, but suspiciously, gay men, adopt 81.8% male children. Pretty weird, isn't it? So Richard Hanania, who is a libtard YouTuber, all right, this is a left-wing YouTuber, pro-gay marriage. Is it true gay couples adopt boys at a very high rate at Grok? Well, this sounds homophobic. And then Grok comes in with the fucking nuke. Yes. A 2021 UK longitudinal study of 111 adoptive families over here, etc., found gay father families had an 81.8% boys versus 53% in heterosexual families and 40% in lesbian mother families. The difference was statistically significant. This matches the skew cited and appears driven by adoptive parent preferences and placement outcomes. Yeah. Just adoptive parents' preferences. Did you get the answer you were expecting? What will you do with that information? Well, the answer is probably nothing, because you can't ever convince leftists to change their opinions on anything, because their opinions are not reliant on facts. Their opinions are reliant on whatever fits the narrative. And again, I don't hate Richard Hanania. I don't know this guy at all. I just know that this is a liberal dude that's like, what? That statistic seems fake. At Grok. Is it true? And then Grok is like, yeah, it's obviously fucking true. Now, if you could look here, this is clearly another gay couple going to adopt another boy as we... Okay, that was a joke. More on that later. Anyway, I wanted to show you this Asmongold clip because I find it very interesting because Asmongold is pro-gay marriage. All right, Asmongold is pro-gay marriage and gay adoption in... Well, he was until he saw this video. And I think this is really interesting because I'm going to let you know my opinions on the matter, which are a lot more radical than almost anyone you probably ever heard.
Two gay men in Nashville are sparking nationwide outrage after recording themselves mocking the baby they had via surrogacy as it cries for its mother. What?
Who do you want, Dada or Pop?
Mama.
No, Mama. Do you want Dada or Pop? No. Do you want Dada?
This crazy. The baby is homophobic, man. Hopefully they can send it back. Is that possible? Is a homophobic baby? Like, that's fucked up, man.
No way, Jose. There is no Mama. I'm so sorry. You have Dada and you have Pop. Two choices. No Mama.
Jesus.
No Mama.
Look at that, dude. So, again, Asmongold, pro-gay marriage, by the way. All right, this is his reaction. The truth is, this is every normal human being's reaction. This probably is. And a lot of people, I mean, obviously, people, the libtards on Twitter are like, oh, it's just a baby crying. Babies cry. Or there's nothing to see here. What's wrong? You're homophobic. There's no reason why gay couples should be able to adopt a baby. So I'm going to hit you with an actual truth nuke. All right? So, obviously, according to my faith and according to God, the act of sodomy is a sin. It is an abomination against God. Marriage inherently is a religious concept and a bond between a man, a woman, and God. Anything that is not that is not marriage. So gay marriage, it's not only do I think that, like, if there shouldn't be such a thing as gay marriage, I mean, it inherently is not marriage. Marriage is inherently religious. Otherwise, you could just have two people living together. And if you want to have specific tax benefits or whatever joint bank accounts, you could sign a contract. All right, it has nothing to do with marriage. But I'll hit you with some logic for y'all, because I think that everything needs to be grounded in logic as well. Maybe not for your own lifestyle, but when it comes to actually trying to discuss this and to touch other people's minds. The healthiest family is a child who grows up with a mom and a dad, a male father figure and a female mother figure in their life. This is the healthiest way to raise a child. This child won't be getting that. This child doesn't have a mother. I think that when it comes to adoption, you should literally only be letting heterosexual couples, married couples, be able to adopt a child because, purely logically speaking, it has the best outcome on the child. Aside from the fact that this kid is going to get brainwashed and groomed into like this homosexual shit, I feel like a video like this can elicit such an actual unbelievable emotional response from everyone that sees it because everyone knows it's wrong, okay? Just emotionally speaking. That this will make the most hardcore gaytheist quiver a little bit. All right. And Asmongold, who, by the way, like, even have like his audience, isn't this what you advocate for? You know, like again, you'll notice this shakes him.
Dada or Pop?
Jesus, man, that's sad, bro. Like, that's really sad. Like,
yeah,
wow.
Why is it sad? Why is it sad?
What the fuck? It hurts to see. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, why is it hurt to see?
It's fuck, man.
Also,
It's just weird. So anyway, like, you can't even put it into words. Like, people don't find the words to describe it. Well, I found the words to describe it. It's degenerate. It's immoral. Because morality is grounded in God. And logically speaking, it's retarded to let this happen when you know the outcome is worse on the child. Ever since we abolished slavery, you're not allowed to buy humans anymore. Unless, of course, you're a homosexual. Yeah, this is why I have no friends. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. I just said I'm gonna radicalize the shit out of you on this channel. That's my new purpose. I've decided. I don't give a shit about optics or any of that. I am here. I'm gonna radicalize the fuck out of you. We're gonna move on. I got someone in the comments when I said that. Yeah, my issue with Trump is that he's not nearly conservative enough. I got some people be like, "What? You must be like a Nazi." Like, what do you mean he's not conservative? Yeah, no. Trump is an old school libtard. This is the conservative position. So, in conclusion. Why do you think that gay couples adopt 81.8% boys and only 18% girls? So, everyone's favorite gay Muslim couple got together, Barack Hussein and Obama and Moran Zamdani got together in a kindergarten to indoctrinate children. I'm sorry, to entertain children for some reason, including this one with a hijab, because that's not weird as fuck. I always wondered if hijabs are like supposed to make women not like be too stimulating and attractive to men in public. Why do they put them on children? Oh, never mind. Aren't you happy that your taxpayer dollars are going to watch Dumblefuck 1 and Cumbleshuck 2 go into indoctrinate children for a day? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that awesome? Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that's adorable. The guy that ruined America a decade ago and the guy that's ruining America today decided to get together and indoctrinate some kids in hijabs. Isn't this just art? Isn't this awesome? Man, New York is so beautiful these days. Now, this is a church in New York that was built in 1869. That's a pretty nice building, I think. Me thinks that's a nice building. Anyway, this is it now. Got a little makeover. It is now the Bosnian Islamic Center. For those of you that are paying attention, this is called Conquest, all right? There is no in between. This is called Conquest, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you'll notice this is a trend. This is the Hagia Sophia, most important and largest church in all of Christianity, built in 537 AD. At least that's what this tweet says. Now it's a mosque in Turkey. This is what we call Conquest, ladies and gentlemen. But no, you're racist for noticing. All right, so Barack Obama said, great time spending time with New York City's cutest. Thanks to Mayor Zohran Mamdani for having me where I could sing Wheels on the Bus to this 5-year-old in a hijab for some fucking reason. I guess she's attractive to Muslims. I guess that's what I'm left to infer. All right, is the quality leering centers. All right, you got a couple of commies getting together to indoctrinate children. It's beautiful. Truly beautiful stuff. Now, anyway, my favorite thing is how this immediately backfired. This immediately backfired. All right. Oh, this is so cute. Speaking of buses, do you remember when Obama sent a 500-pound laser-guarded MK-82 bomb to hit a school bus in Yemen, killing 40 children on the way to a field trip? By the way, could you even imagine if Trump did that? Holy shit. Could you even imagine if Trump did that? I don't even, we don't even need to get involved. Obviously, Obama had special magic shield. He's allowed to do as many war crimes as he wants, but he's allowed. Because under leftist doctrine, white person killing black person is a war crime. Black person killing brown person is Tuesday. So under leftoid doctrine, we don't actually have to worry about Obama being a war criminal. But don't worry, because Fatima Mohammed obviously remembers this, and it's backfiring now on Zohran Mamdani. It's like, Zohran Mamdani, you were supposed to be anti-establishment and shit. Here you're sitting with a war criminal. So I always love watch. As you can see, 150,000 likes, and I love it. I love when the virtue signalers eat their own. It just makes me so happy every single time. Now, this is the Obungus stance. All right, this was Obungus in 2020, and this is Obungus in 2026. Holy fuck, bro is aging fast.
By ending some of the partisan gerrymandering so that all voters have the power to choose their politicians, not the other way around.
In April, Virginians can respond by making sure your voting power is not diminished. This amendment gives you the power to level the playing field in the midterms this fall. This is the responsible thing to do.
By ending some of the partisan...
2020, we will not do gerrymandering. It is unethical. 2026, Virginia, you must gerrymander to steal and rig elections. It's honestly incredible stuff. This guy's every single day with this guy. All right, now in New York, where this all took place, there was a riot that went on in Queens, New York yesterday, where you had a bunch of pro-Palestinian people proving that they are actually the religion of peace by carjacking people in public and firebombing the street.
When you see this as a New Yorker, lawlessness, do whatever I want, no consequences. You have to stay on top of this, and it can be done. This really is disgusting to watch. When you see this as a New Yorker,
right. And there will not be consequences because this is actually what they wanted to bring up here. This is actually what they wanted to do. Now, the funniest part of this all is, I mean, to be fair, they are just celebrating Palestinian culture. You know, acts of terrorism. Sorry, I get ahead of myself. I was trying to think of another Palestinian invention, but unfortunately there aren't any. Just terrorism. Anyway, DOJ says New York City Mayor Mamdani will be sued if he tries requiring white neighborhoods to pay higher property tax. Now, this is the kind of thing that you're probably going to be like, wow, this is just the anti-woke media. This is just like Fox News making some shit up, right? This is just propaganda. But what if I told you? What if I told you he actually wants to institute attacks targeting white people exclusively?
You've talked about things that we all care about. You mentioned the disparity between white New Yorkers and black New Yorkers and how those communities have historically had that disparity. What does policy...
I wonder what caused that disparity between white New Yorkers and black New Yorkers. You think it was racism? I don't.
look like for you to address that?
I think first and foremost, you have to acknowledge the truth, right? And it's not an indictment of any one New Yorker. It's an indictment of politics and policies. There's no way that we can accept in New York City where the median household wealth of a black family is less than $20,000
for sure
in the most expensive city in the United States.
So the solution is the black family shouldn't, actually, stay together, get married, have children in a 2-family household, get jobs, work harder. That's not the solution. The solution is just stealing money from the people that are successful? Like, just let this get through your head for a second, all right? And this isn't even coming from, like, a racist perspective at all. He is basically saying that because certain communities spend their money in different ways than other communities, therefore, we have to fuck the communities that are more conservative with their incomes. Like, just understand the principle here is everyone's gonna be fucking poor now, right? That is the principle. Because you think taxing white families by an extra 2% is going to make black families richer? It's absolutely not even going to work. A, it's immoral, and B, it just means that an extra 2% of taxes is just going to go to Somalia or some shit. All right, we know that the government's using our tax dollars on garbage. All right, so not only does it not work, and it just increases taxes on everybody, but also it's evil.
America.
And like, I see you made bad life choices, so I'm going to tax that other guy because it's totally not fair that both you and him have different lifestyles now. That's unbelievable stuff. I can't believe it. Wow, I saw that you got a 60 on your test, and that guy over there got a 90 on his test. That's really not fair. You're 30 points lower than him. We're going to have to lower his marks to 80 and increase your marks to 70. That's literally what he's saying.
And so part of it is acknowledging, and the next step is to make sure when you're building out your policies, you have equity in that framework.
Yep.
So, for example, we have a $1.2 billion deal to deliver universal childcare. We're starting with 4 sets of neighborhoods. We were intentional about also picking the neighborhoods that are often last, the ones that are often overlooked. We're talking about Canarsie, Brownsville, Far Rockaway. Having those be first so that we can see the impacts of that kind of investment in the very communities that are...
You've talked about things
so
that...
anyway, this is him basically saying that he's actually doing this. New York City Mayor Mamdani is targeting the white wealth gap via policy. This is actually a crime. This is actual discrimination in policy, and he is getting sued by the Department of Justice for this. However, it's important to note that leftoid policies aren't just bad because they rape you. They're also bad because they rape you. This is a child predator that was getting hunted down by pedo hunters in Minneapolis. He was a Somali child predator attempting to meet up with a 13-year-old girl in Minneapolis. You know, the thing that never happens.
Yeah, what you doing? You got any weapons on you?
No.
Check his pockets.
I ain't got nothing.
You hear me, the little girl?
No. I never talked about that.
Start telling the truth. Start telling the truth.
I know to know.
We're gonna have to call the police if you don't want to tell the truth, okay?
Give me my.
Fuck your hat. Tell you why you hear me, the little girl.
No, I didn't see no girl.
Pull out your phone. What you mean?
I didn't see no girl, man. I don't know what
you're talking about. Pull out your phone. Your phone's ringing. Pull out your fucking phone.
Man, don't hit me. Don't hit me, man.
Hey. Pull out your phone. Your phone's ringing.
Yeah, so anyway,
you hear me?
I don't think I could show more of this on YouTube, but the point is it's the thing that never happens. Pretty wild how this just happens, even though it's the thing that never happens. Now, understand, after we import these guys, they actually decide, yo, we have to start podcasts where we proclaim that our actual goal is conquering America. I know it sounds stupid. It's like, if they're trying to do this subtle conquering of America, they have to be fucking retarded to say it out loud, unless they know that the left doesn't care and they'll just literally keep importing them anyway.
America, okay, if we don't want them to implement secularism, so what do we want them to implement? They say that America now, okay, there is not enough Muslims for them and to implement Islam. But now it is our challenge as du'at, as intellectuals, as academic, to present solutions based on Islamic values, but in the second level degree, not to tell them replace secularism with Islam. It won't work. Yeah, presenting Islam as a civilizational alternative, this needs from us a different way of addressing this generation, addressing, in fact, the whole world, trying to get into key positions where you are influencing the decisions, yani decision making.
Wow.
If we are
You got a couple of migrant Muslims. They come on a podcast. They're like, all right, we have to change America and conquer it. All right, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. All right, first, we're going to get into positions of power. Then, like, this is crazy. This is crazy, by the way. These people didn't assimilate, obviously, into culture. Their vows, when they became American citizens, obviously were lies. All right, they are not here to fight against threats, foreign and domestic, and uphold American liberty. That is not what they're here for, obviously. I would deport all of these guys. If you ask me, if I was a policymaker, I would have all these guys on a boat immediately. Just because obviously they lied on their assimilation forms.
Whatever we do, and we are not influentials, we cannot influence how politics is running. We are not influence the decision-making processes.
We know that if we were to do this from 0 to 100, the people are going to say, we're not going to have this type. Look Afghanistan, look other places. And people understand they're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Suppose a Muslim party, an Islamic party, comes in and they start changing. You know what? We want to make sure there's no alcohol being sold. So can we, for the time being, because here's the point, any type of stuff we do, it's not astaghfirullah to substitute.
Guys, if we come in here and we're like, yo, we're going to behead you if you don't wear a hijab in public, people won't like that. So what we need to do instead is just come in quietly, outbreed you, get positions of power, and then threaten to cut your head off if you don't wear a hijab in public. Man, it's really nice that they just say it out loud, you know? Like, I really appreciate it. The bluntness is really cool of them. All right, so understand this is a University of Minnesota professor wearing a Palestinian keffiyeh.
Justice, equality, and peace that seek to dismantle the United States. I hope you seek to dismantle the...
Bro! We have professors in colleges talking about dismantling the United States? Like, what are we even doing here?
United States. And if that isn't your politics, okay?
Clapping by all the fucking retards in the audience. These anti-American filth shitbags.
I speak as if everybody has this commitment. And the thing is that you...
Yeah, I don't. I love the United States. This is abhorrent.
You should listen to indigenous people when they're telling you that this is the goal.
You should not actually listen to indigenous people when they tell you this is your goal. Just because you are indigenous, it doesn't magically make you superior to anyone. This is the United States of America. It was built by white Christian people. It is a civilization on its own right. And if you don't want to get with the program, you should leave. But I'm indigenous. Where am I going to go? I don't know. A reservation? Like, this is blatant indoctrination, and we know that the schools are more than happy to introduce these people. The schools, which, by the way, get billions of dollars in funding from places like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, China, you know, people that might potentially want us to believe things like this, actually. All right, now, this is a Nigerian migrant arrested in Italy after grilling a cat in a park near a kid's playground. My God, dude. My God. My Lord. Oh my God. So yeah, we need to deal with this apparently. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. He was right. He was right again. They're eating the cats, literally. And apparently we just have to like make believe this is normal. Oh, that's just their culture. We just import them. That's just their culture. We don't want to deal with it. It's just our culture. It's not a problem. I don't want to be racist or anything. All right. So this is Muslim girl gangs beating up a white woman in Europe. But hey, the white girl complained about it. So therefore she was suspended from school. All right, well, here we have a refugee camp, probably. Look at that. Look at the refugee camp, right? You see all the poor refugees in hijabs. Never mind. It's just a park in Berlin. Well, this is the German army's new ad, so we shouldn't be that surprised when, you know, we have German issues. Grab somebody sexy, tell them hey. Yeah, I would not join the German military if I saw an ad like this, I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit, Hitler lost big time. Generational Hitler L. It's honestly fucking unbelievable how badly that guy fucked up his country by losing. Truly insane stuff. Honestly. Man, Hitler was so fucking bad. Everyone was like, well, I guess we have to hate white people for eternity or something. Damn. Generational fuck up by old Adolf over there, not gonna lie. Anyway, so here's a story. One of the major reasons why I wanted to do this video altogether, talking about different refugee stories around the world. I love how they call them refugees. Like, these are invaders, bro. Afghan refugee 19 arrested in France over a series of brutal rapes of sheep and goats. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here, guys? That was found with their legs tied and suffering injuries. This is the level of how surprised I am, and this is the level of how disgusted I am. This is insane. So, like, by the way, the reason why I wanted to show this is not only because I wanted an excuse to make fun of retard goat rapists, but also it's because I I got canceled for calling them goat fuckers. Well, anyway, unfortunately, yeah. France, Afghan man arrested for a series of rapes of goats and sheep. Animal protection organization vows to take this barbarian to court. God forbid will we deport him, but we'll take him to court though. Like, again, this is like, it's insane. Anyway, this is why Kamala lost the election though. Right, it wasn't because of the policies. It was because this is cringe as fuck. And now ICE is still working, deporting people and stuff like that while all of Europe slowly dies. And the question that everyone wants to know is, whatever happened to all the ICE protesters? Did they just stop getting paid? Damn. This guy says, I think ICE throttled down a bit. And the reality is, that's not actually true. ICE actually didn't slow down. ICE is still doing exactly on the same pace that it was the entire time, except I guess the new orders went out. You have to protest to be pro-Iran or something. So I guess all of a sudden people don't care. They're actually eating the cats, and we're supposed to expect these people to assimilate into our culture. Don't let the left mind rape you while these guys butt rape you. It's not xenophobic to want to make sure that the goats they rape are in the Middle East, not in our backyard. Now, I think England has got to be one of the most unbelievable case studies in the history of the world. All right, everything that England is doing is something that no one else should be doing right now. All right, so this is the British Parliament. Keir Starmer was basically saying for like the last whole day, I'm going to Parliament and I am very angry. I am very mad. I am very angry and mad. All right, so this is him being very angry and mad in the British Parliament. Like, I'm not even going to lie. This is diabolical.
I know many members across the House will find these facts to be incredible.
So that you're just laughing at this is humiliating. This is your leader. This is the most humiliating shit I've ever seen. This is why you need to elect men, all right? Not these lesbians.
To that, I can only say they are right. It beggars belief that throughout the whole timeline of events, officials in the Foreign Office saw fit to withhold this information from the most senior ministers in our system in government.
You mean to tell me the Muslims are raping our children? Without me! Sorry, that was a joke. That was a joke.
That is not how the vast majority of people in this country expect politics, government, or accountability to work.
You mean people in the country expect accountability? That's crazy.
And I do not think it's how most public servants think it should work either. I work with hundreds of civil servants, thousands even, all of whom act with the utmost integrity, dedication, and pride to serve this country.
Dude, just the way everyone's laughing at him is insane. So someone actually calls him out. This guy calls Keir Starmer out for being a liar, and they throw him out of Parliament.
No one believes him. The public don't believe him.
No one believes you, bro.
MPs on this side of the House don't believe him. His own gullible backbenchers don't believe him. So does a Prime Minister agree with me? He's been lying.
Prime Minister, sorry, we don't use those words, and I'm sure the members withdrawn.
We don't use those words. Sorry, man. Look, man. So I got someone saying, man, if you make fun of England, they're going to be offended. Well, what are they going to do? They can't even criticize me. They're going to go to jail for criticizing me on the internet. This is humiliating. We don't use those words here.
Mr. Speaker, I have the greatest respect for you and your office, but I will not withdraw. That man couldn't lie straight in bed.
Order.
Damn.
You'll have to leave.
You'll have to leave. You can't call a lawyer in our watch over here. This is England. You got a license for that speech there, mate. You got a license for that. Bro, it's honestly unbelievable shit watching this happen. Now, just to understand, this is symbolic of everything going on in England. This is a foreign national pissing on Buckingham Palace. This is beautiful. This is cinema. This is England. This is England, ladies and gentlemen. Yup, that's right. This might be the most British thing I've ever seen in my life. Infinite migration. Man, symbolic of literally everything. All right, so there's a new trend going around where Muslims are very upset that there are pubs in England because, you know, alcohol is haram.
I'm outside a pub right now. I wish there was a halal version of, like, pubs. Like,
this is actually mad. There's a whole pub.
This is actually mad. There's a pub in a culture where everyone's drunk all the time.
To the masjid, right? And look at these man. All of these man. They're violating, bro. How is this even possible, bro?
How is it possible to have pubs in public? It's so difficult to rape children when we're sober, let alone drunk.
Oh, subhanallah, Adim. It's not fair, bro. At least respect the Muslims, bro. Respect some.
They need to respect the Muslims and close down all pubs in England.
Have some respect.
Listen, great. So, here is a masjid. Here's the mosque. And here's the bab. See? Just one wall beside the masjid of Allah and the bab of Satan. Allah Akbar.
Unbelievable. I can't believe they put a pub near a mosque.
I just wanna be part of.
Anyway, so you got the idea. There's a new trend of Muslims getting upset that pubs are there. It's pretty insane. Pubs existed before Muhammad started abusing children and killing dogs. True. Anyway, this is a normal culture, a totally normal culture that we all need to accept. We all need to accept this culture and close down our pubs immediately. Accept it. Accept it. This is coming to a country near you. It's here. It's in the United Kingdom already. All right. And thank God our immigrants are not, you know, largely of the same stock as their immigrants. But this is massive. It's insane. Like, it's truly brutal. And we have to make believe that this is not only normal, but it's beautiful, because all cultures are beautiful. Well, they're not. Some cultures fucking suck, man. All right? Some are a lot worse than ours, and we shouldn't be importing those into our countries. All right? England, you know, honestly, I'm sorry to all the British people that are literally losing your country in front of you. Hopefully you'll be able to get it back. I'm praying for you guys. Don't get me wrong. I really am. Really sorry for you. I'm trying to raise awareness here, since you can't, or you'd go to jail for raising awareness. So I'm trying my best here. Thank you. Thank you for being the literal warning for all of us. Thank you for being there to show us what will happen if we don't get our act together and get these fucker people out of our country. All right. Synagogue firebombed in London as Jewish community rocked by 4th attack in a month. This is fucking crazy. There aren't even a lot of Jews in England. How are there Jews getting firebombed 4 times a month? There aren't even a lot of Jews. There's less than 500,000 Jews in the entire country. And you have 4 firebombings in 1 month? This is absolute insanity, bro. It's crazy. Again, Jews have been in England for a very long time, for hundreds of years. And suspiciously, all this firebombing just happened recently. It's just started happening. It's pretty insane. Bro, my computer's like out of memory. It's screaming at me, yo, you have too many tabs of pedophiles in England. Kenton United Synagogue in Harrow attacked overnight, 4th Jewish site to be targeted in a month. Like, this is fucking insane, man. And they never say who does it. We all know who does it, okay? All right, I'll be real. We all know exactly who's the one doing it. Like, normally, whenever there's a terror attack, I like playing a game, trying to guess who done it. But, like, but we know who done it. It's the same one that did all the other fucking terror attacks. We all know, all right? Thank goodness Muslims got 40 million pounds to protect their mosques. Yep, that's right. We have terror attacks happening. We get terror attacks happening, all right? Coming from one specific community. And that community gets paid because of Islamophobia. Keir Starmer, every single day, he has a new tweet like this. I am appalled by recent anti-Semitic arson attacks in North London. This is abhorrent and will not be tolerated. Apparently it will! This is the 4th one in a month! Attacks on our Jewish community are attacks on Britain. We are increasing visible policing, and those responsible will be found and brought to justice. Yeah, understand that not only are your tax dollars going to waste by funding these retards coming into your country and raping you, but your tax dollars are going to waste to protect synagogues and churches from the retards that are coming into the country, firebombing them. All right, understand how that works. We will not rest in pursuit of the perpetrators. As you, no one's buying this, man. Look how crazy this is. 2,000 likes, 1 million views, 8,000 replies. Like, best I could do is spend more money to protect mosques and implement Islamophobia laws. Like we all know this is happening. It's absolute insanity. Like it's the most obvious open and shut case in the universe, but it doesn't even matter. That's England. That's just England, I guess. I guess that's what we have to deal with. I guess that's just what it's like to live in England, an Islamic country. Breaking: Keir Starmer to address Parliament today amid calls for his resignation. Yeah, well, he didn't resign, unfortunately. Anyway, this is a pastor because, again, you know, as it says in the Quran, Jews and Christians are the lowest of creatures. And then specifically, after importing infinite Muslims, you have Jews and Christians getting arrested and jailed and firebombed? That's probably a coincidence. Anyway, so this is a Christian pastor getting arrested for preaching the gospel in public.
I am a preacher of the gospel. Watch this. Watch this. There is no offence being committed here. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Listen. You repent and believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you'll be saved. You repent and believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you'll be saved. You know what? This is an utter disgrace in this nation. An utter... I've not assaulted anyone. No, I have not assaulted anyone. Take these off now. Take these off now in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, so again, apparently that's crazy. Preaching the gospel apparently is a hate crime now in England. So again, understand what's happening in our countries. All right, so this is a quoted tweet, but the person that was quoted deleted it because obviously you'll see why. So this is a tweet from a British official, like an actual government official, being all sarcastic and saying, "Oh, what's next? You're going to say that Muslims are beheading people in parks?" And this guy retweeted it saying it, yeah, it actually already happened. And the obvious person in government just deleted the tweet. Like, this should radicalize the fucking shit out of you, man. Really. Cadet suspended from RAF officer training for saying Islam is the main threat to the UK. Suspended for stating a fact. You know, and this is just what's happening, man. All right, so this one's wild. This is crazy. Here in the UK justice system, they let them go. 2 Pakistani brothers used a high level of violence as they brutally attacked armed officers in Manchester airport brawl. Court hears Mohammed Fahir Amaz and his brother Mohammed Ahmad rained repeated blows on PC Zachary Madsen as he tried to arrest Amaz in the parking payment area at Terminal 2 at Manchester Airport. Amaz also acted in a cowardly manner when he struck unarmed female officer Lydia Ward by punching her in the face and breaking her nose. He also hit PC Ellie Cook, an unarmed officer, to fully of blows. The defendants say violence they used against Madsen was lawful because they were acting in self-defense or in defense of each other. And the community note is even better. Oh, and also Mohammed Amaz was found guilty in 2025 of assaulting 3 people. And then they let him go because of self-defense. They just let him go. And you're going to tell me these motherfuckers aren't inbred? I'm sorry, man. I don't want to be rude here or anything. But holy shit. Holy shit, bro. This is crazy. And I thought Jews had big noses. What the fuck? Anywho, so this is an interesting statistic. And this is awesome. Love that. 9 out of 10 street kids in Pakistan have been raped. This is horrifying. I'll admit I didn't know this. When I first saw this tweet, I was like, no, right? No. Right? No. So, you know, I actually looked up the stats, and I'm not going to lie. The stats scared the fucking shit out of me. So, because obviously, if this is true, now I'm not saying it is true yet, all right? But if it is true, then obviously we should not be importing people that have a chance, you know, this high amount of rape, right? Anyway, apparently it's true. Apparently it's true if you actually do the research. Apparently, it's true. The Post cites a widely referenced statistic from NGO estimates and research, including the 2014 documentary Streets of Shame, that around 9 in 10 street children in Pakistan, particularly in Peshawar, experience sexual abuse or rape, often on their first night on the streets. So yeah, apparently it's true. And if that is true, we should not be importing these people into our countries. These people can't assimilate. This is fucking insanity. Like, but you're xenophobic if you say this. You understand how badly we are getting brutalized by these people? That you are considered some sort of racist bigot by being like, wait a second, I don't want to import 1 million people, all right, into our country when 9 out of 10 street kids in that country get raped. Sorry, I just don't want to do that, actually. And I don't have to explain that to you. Or it should be really obvious. And some blue-haired liberal be like, nope, you're a racist unless you let them rape you. Yep, yeah, I know. Rape is bad, all men are pigs. Unless they're Pakistani, in which case they should rape your children. And you're a bigot if you don't like that. In fact, I thought that the dolphin rape was bad enough. You know, there's this whole issue, stop dolphin raping tradition in Pakistan, whole petition, people trying to stop it. I thought that was bad. Then I hear about the children. Like, holy shit, if maybe these guys should have more sexual relief dolphins, they'd save the kids. But it's insane. We need to think this way? No. The answer is these people are fucking degenerates, okay? Not all of them, obviously. I'm sure a lot of them are incredibly, very, very nice, kind, wonderful people, probably. I don't want to take the chance, though, and import them by the millions, and then expect to somehow have a society that's not affected by this. That's why every single time I see this Tucker Carlson clip, I literally throw up in my mouth. He's like this conservative guy, apparently, except he never wants to talk about immigration. And he always talks about how dare President Trump mock Islam? Well, this is him talking about how actually the Muslims made England better.
The attendant was some Pakistani woman who's like, oh, we're so glad you're here. Which I don't think I would have gotten from the liberal white ladies.
Genuinely, have you felt threatened walking around?
No, not at all.
Of course.
Again, who's going to do anything?
Yeah. Because you're not a 6-year-old white girl, all right? Like, this is the craziest thing in the world. It's like, well, I wasn't afraid that a Pakistani was going to rape me, so obviously there's no issue. Great logic there, sir.
Pakistanis are all super nice to me, and the whites are all kind of craven and sad.
Right, the Pakistanis, all super nice. The whites, craven and sad. Import more of them. They make England better.
No, you're totally safe here, man.
A lot of the other
Tell that to the 2 million white girls that were raped over the last couple of years.
cultures that have come here actually have far more politeness.
I agree.
I agree. The Pakistanis are better than the native English. Replacing them is actually a benefit to the country. Yeah, anyway. So, you know, everyone's realizing that this whole Keir Starmer policy of import infinite racists is really not working.
Competent and evil, though.
He is incompetent and evil, but it's not just that, Alex. Yeah.
But he's not just incompetent and evil. This is how they're talking on the media now, because everyone knows that this is what's happening. Right? There's no hiding it. Now, there's a new trend that's been going on about third worlders destroying ancient burial ground and ancient walls and ancient cultural relics.
Just recently, this place, Anundshög, Sweden's largest burial mound, was plundered.
Anundshög dates back to somewhere between the 6th and 11th centuries and has several stone shape formations along with numerous runestones. It is considered one of Sweden's most significant historical sites. However, a recent and deeply troubling discovery has come to light.
What happened?
Several of the ancient graves have been plundered.
They have found
You mean to
over
tell me?
50 holes in this area.
You mean to tell me?
Artifacts that had remained undisturbed for over 1,500 years
You mean
have
to tell
now
me?
vanished. They were a legacy from our ancestors, meant to be preserved and passed on to future generations.
Well, they're
It is a
gone.
profound loss, the destruction of something truly irreplaceable.
Well, oopsie poopsie, they're gone. Someone who probably doesn't care about your culture at all took them. Now, the crazy part is, for 1,500 years, not a single Swedish person touched these. And here we got mass migration, and poof, within a decade, it's gone, looted. The graves are empty. If this isn't it's actually heartbreaking. It's actually heartbreaking. These people don't care about your culture. They don't care about your civilization. They don't care about your society. They don't care about your country. All right, it's just a part of their gigantic, infinite world domination strategy. All right, and you import them into your countries, and this happens. Obviously, of course, it happens. Why shouldn't they? Why should they have some sort of reverence to your ancestors from 1,500 years ago? They're not their ancestors from 1,500 years ago. They don't give a shit about your culture. They don't give a shit about your country. They don't give a shit about history here at all. Your universe has no meaning to them. They will not try to understand. They will be tired. They will be cold. They will make a fire with your beautiful oak door. They don't care. They don't want to care. And in fact, they get into positions of power and they erase you. Swedish state TV accused of rewriting history after casting black actors as Vikings in a multi-million-pound documentary series. Because of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they want to replace you. And this is a documentary, man. And I think stuff like this, stuff like pissing on the, Buckingham Palace, it's just a perfect encapsulation of what's going on. So this video went super viral. I showed it to you in the past, but I'll show it to you again. It's short.
What are you smashing the wall up for?
All right, so this is an ancient 1,000-year-old dry stone wall, and some migrant wanted to walk through it, so he's just taking it apart. He's just tearing it down.
I've just watched you chucking bricks trying to smash the fucking wall down. I don't care, it's not your wall. There's a path up there off the main road. There's a path on over there. This is not your property, dude. You can't just go around smashing shit up because you want to go through it. Shout at you. I don't care, dude. It's not your wall. I've just watched it and videoed you smashing the wall up. It's not your wall. Then leave it the fuck alone then. Then leave the wall alone. It's a dry stone wall. It's been up for hundreds of years. Dry stone wall, hundreds of years. Cost thousands of pounds per metre to put it right. And you think you can come around here and smash a fucking hole in it because you want to get through? Walk down there, there's a fucking gap in the wall down there. Walk through that one. Walk down that wall.
Or climb over it, or it literally doesn't fucking matter. The excuses, the reasoning, the logic, none of it is relevant at all. The reason why this happened is because there's a thorough lack of caring for your culture. And, honestly, a lot of people say that, well, we're all just human beings. Human beings are all equal. And yes, I agree. In the great tapestry of the world, God created us all in his image, and there is a purpose to every single one of us being on this planet. We have some sort of task, some sort of duty, and every human life is worth something. But you could live out your fucking dreams in Pakistan, motherfucker. Some cultures just aren't here to assimilate. They're here to conquer, all right? And because of our unbelievable levels of bullshit empathy that we have drilled into ourselves, because honestly, we have an epidemic of hyper toxically feminized woke retards convincing us of what's right and wrong, all right? The people that tell you what's right and wrong support this. Right? Those are the people that are trying to morally dictate and grandstand on what ethics and morals are supposed to be. The ones that support this. All right? And this is evil. It really is. Now, the craziest part is a brick wall stood for 300 years near plenty of British people, and it took an immigrant 5 minutes to ruin it because none of them care about your culture or heritage at all. It's just true. Now, you know, you could argue, you could yell, you could scream, you could say that it's just true. There is no other interpretation. Now, the reason I wanted to show this to you is because I saw one of the greatest advertisements in the history of humankind. And it's this. Restore Britain. Vote for the quote-unquote far-right Restore Britain party, and the wall will remain. No commentary necessary. 100,000 likes on this tweet. 3 million views. Because they all are going to go. They'll all get deported. And that is exactly the stance you have to take. All right? You have to completely shed the skin and the weight of the retards and the empaths telling you right and wrong. All right? Right and wrong does not come from a libtard on TV. It doesn't come from a talk show host. It doesn't come from a podcast. I speak for myself when I say this, but my morals come from God. God has a doctrine believing in honoring your parents, honoring your ancestors, honoring your borders and your country, and obliterating the heathens that try to kill you and destroy you. Morality doesn't come from the libtard telling you to be tolerant to the people trying to rape you. Morality comes from something so much more true and real than what any of these dipshits tell you you're supposed to care about. All right, it says in 1 Kings 18:36, at the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known that you are God in Israel, that I am your servant, and all these things am at your command. All right. Understand that the prophet Elijah lived approximately 1,000 years after Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he still references God as God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Because your ancestors, your culture, your heritage, they fucking matter. And this motherfucker over here will never, ever, ever understand that. So, Rupert Lowe, the guy in charge of the Restore Britain party, he made this tweet. 602 illegals crossed the channel yesterday. 602. Never let that become normal. It is not normal. Pakistani, Sudanese, and whatever else. Young men invading Britain from these cultures that treat women like utter dirt. I don't want these criminals in our country. Do you? And this is the stance that needs to be taken. You know, tough times create strong men. We're in the generation of strong men. And yeah, physically strong is really good, but you cannot bow to the whims of the retards convincing you right and wrong comes from their bullshit platitudes. Right and wrong comes from God. Well, at least that's my stance. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. You're just going to be the raped. Now, speaking of people that absolutely hate your heritage and want your culture to die, Hassan Piker, largest leftist political streamer in America, has been making waves lately. All right, so he's been over in all sorts of beef, including with him and the new Pragmata game that came out, which actually emphasizes family values, and he absolutely hates it because he's like, no, actually, you should be not getting married, having children, and die so that we can import infinite Islamists to control your culture. That's his political philosophy. So this is him with Dr. Adam Hamawi. He is a New Jersey guy running for Congress, I'm pretty sure in New Jersey. And this is Hassan Piker and all of his terrorist-supporting friendos all getting together to support terrorists. I think this is the funniest thing ever. So this is him saying that he wants an arms embargo in Israel because the Iron Dome is bad and immoral. This is awesome, actually.
Do you believe that there should be a full arms embargo in Israel?
Absolutely. 100%.
You mean to tell me that a Democratic candidate that Hassan supports believes that? That's crazy.
Many in Congress that have now chosen to make this distinction between defensive weapons and offensive weapons, or rather have decided to lean into no distinction between the two, but seemingly are using this as an opportunity to say, look, we won't pay for Israel to purchase these weapons, but we'll still sell these weapons. Do you feel like that goes far enough?
Understand, selling weapons to a country is actually just good business, all right? See, I'm against foreign aid in general. I personally don't want to give foreign aid to anybody. Yeah, that includes Israel. I'm way too Jewish to give foreign aid to the Jews, all right? Listen, I'll be real. That said, Selling weapons? Yeah, if you're going to purchase the weapons, of course we're going to sell them. Why not? Especially to one of our allies that's fighting terrorists and shit that are also our mutual enemies. Why shouldn't we sell it to them? Get ready.
In terms of restraining Israel.
It's not far enough. We first need to follow our own laws. You know, we are not supposed to be selling weapons, any kind of weapons, to any country that is breaking international humanitarian law, that is committing
Damn, it's a good thing Israel isn't doing that, I guess.
genocide or atrocities.
Damn, it's a good thing Israel isn't doing any of that. It's a good thing they're just fighting terrorists that started a war and lost miserably.
And when we talk about the Iron Dome or any kind of defensive weapons,
Understand the Iron Dome is a missile interception system that exists to intercept missiles fired by terrorists into civilian cities.
what it's doing, it's insulating Israel from having to make decisions to make peace, and it really isolates them from like having to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
It's like giving a
Consequences means, man, not enough dead Jews if Israel has missile defense systems. Like, it's incredible how every single day there's a new clip of this guy being like, damn, man, I wish the terrorists could have been able to rape more Jews. Then all of a sudden things would be better. Now, the logic they're trying to say is the war is going to go longer if Israel has defensive weapons because they'll be able to defend themselves. So therefore, we need to maximize dead Jews so that maybe Israel will stop doing wars. Now, the reason why this is retarded is because Israel could obliterate Gaza. And for example, the reason why this is retarded is because Israel actually, you know, they send pamphlets before they bomb buildings. They evacuate places before they attack them, which is why there were only 70,000 casualties. And yeah, only, you heard correctly, only 70,000 casualties, despite the fact that it was 2 million people living in a super hyper-dense urban environment. If Israel didn't have defensive weapons, they would have obliterated the entire country, the entire area of Gaza off the map. Because why would they risk taking casualties if they could just kill the enemy instead? The reason why there were only, yes, only 70,000 casualties in Gaza was because Israel had defensive weapons that they were able to take their time and evacuate as many people as they can. You know, and like they made sure that they would have food and that they gave them electricity, they gave them internet. You know, for example, all those things are completely true. They wouldn't be doing that if they didn't have defensive weapons. So not only is it illogical, but also it maximizes Palestinian casualties if Israel doesn't have an Iron Dome, for example. So what these guys are actually saying, and this is truly incredible, and you have to pay attention, what these guys are saying is, we want as many dead Jews as possible, which will cause as many dead Palestinians as possible, because then we could use all of those dead Palestinians as ammunition to talk about how America bad and Israel bad. So the wildest part is the Iron Dome is a purely defensive mechanism, and he's not even talking about giving foreign aid to Israel. He's talking about letting them purchase shit from us for purely defensive capabilities. And he's like, no, we can't do that. We need to maximize dead Jews. All right, so again, not super surprising. Hassan Piker is getting blasted by everyone that's not Islamic. Like, for example, this guy, this is an assemblyman that represents California's 17th Assembly District.
For Vietnamese Americans, opposing communism is personal, not political. It is why so many families came to America. Hassan Piker, a far-left commentator with a large platform, was caught on video attacking a Vietnamese refugee, telling her to shut up and go back.
Shut up and go back yourself. I'll be real here. You don't even speak English. What are we doing? How is this person an elected representative, man? What are we doing here? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm more than happy you know, pitting the retards against each other, letting the retards attack Hassan Piker. But it doesn't mean you're not retarded, all right? Let's understand. This is crazy, bro. Unbelievable. Now, the funniest thing is, someone needs to study how personal vendettas against Hassan Piker turn liberals into liberal right-wing dipshits. That's right. It turns liberals into right-wingers when they're against Hassan. And then Hassan says, it's easy. I have a fairly modest leftist views across the board. You know, like letting Jews get raped, I guess. And I'm stubborn. Yup. So if they want to oppose everything I do, they inevitably find themselves aligning with the right-wing forces. This is obviously retarded. He's just like Hassan Piker, like, I am a moderate leftist. Yes, I support the Palestinian resistance, where they rape as many Jews as they can. Yes, I support communism in China. Yes, I chant death to America. I support the Islamic regime. I think that Russia attacking Ukraine is awesome. And I tell my audience multiple times to go murder right-wing politicians like Rick Scott. But I have unresolved trauma, and I take it out of my dog by electrocuting her, and then I go on stream and talk about how we should murder right-wing politicians. I just showed you a clip in my previous video, an old clip of Hassan Piker saying he wanted to kill Charlie Kirk. Like, this is obviously an infiltration into American culture, trying to forge a path for himself. And it's the foreigners. It's all the foreigners that hate America. They're all on Hassan's side. The leftist position that Hassan actually represents is lots of foreigners want to steal, rape, and pillage our country. So they're going to gather behind this communism, which essentially is just some sort of lie where they could just take money from people that earn it and give it to foreigners that don't deserve it, and actively support all forms of America's enemies like China or Islamic terrorism. And it's pretty wild. All right, this is just Hassan Piker, the Brian Griffin of the internet, always out there to randomly virtue signal and shit. In fact, a lot of people were calling him the real life Brian Griffin. Someone said he's the real life Brian Griffin, and I haven't stopped laughing since. Make the rich pay, says the multi-millionaire. All right, why does low key it goes hard as Brian Griffin? It's kind of insane. Bro got mogged by Brian Griffin. Holy shit. Yeah, so anyway, so this is Hassan saying it's easy. I'm a fairly moderate leftist. Moderate leftist views. Like, I miss the Soviet Union. That was a recent thing that he said in a Yale speech. Moderate leftist views. Like, I'm really happy Russia
you call
Crimea
a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river. Russia's historic access into the Black Sea, Crimea, that's like historically fucking ethnically all Russian. You call Crimea, I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch.
Yeah, so a moderate leftist that supports the USSR imperialist extermination of Ukrainian people. You know, all the leftoids, the Democrats with like the little Ukraine pins? Well, Hassan supports them. You know, I love how Hassan will go up and he'll shoot up his stream and he'll be like, yeah, I'm anti-imperialist. Motherfucker, he's not anti-imperialist. He's just an imperialist rooting for the other empire. All right, so this was his new massive crash out, which is wild. So there's a new video game out called Pragmata. It's a family value game, all right? It's like a really cute game. Everyone likes it. Really adorable stuff. But Hassan Piker, and I'm going to show you how Pragmata is single-handedly destroying feminism just by having like a cute child, and female streamers are losing their mind over it. I'm going to show you that in a second. But first, I have to show you the Hassan Piker take on an adorable game.
In any case, what is this? Capcom's Pragmata. Wait, did it come out already? Pragmata, it's making thousands of people suddenly want to start a family. You play as Hugh, a soldier, stranded on a ruined lunar research station. His job is protecting the childlike android Diana while fighting rogue AI. It's out already? Is it good? Isn't this like Death Stranding? In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. So what's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And
shouldn't most people want to start families? It's a beautiful thing.
And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like,
you mean normal family values? It's like, I don't understand why people would want families. You see, I'm actually rooting for the annihilation of America. So not having families is actually really great, because then we get to replace you with Muslims. They'll have families for you, don't worry.
If you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care.
What does this even mean? This is crazy. I have a family. I like video games. It's not a contradiction. I love how Hassan Piker is like such an absolute retard that he's like, you are not allowed to want to have families. I am so progressive. I want your family line to end with you. I want your ancestors who have fought countless battles and survived and managed to, against all odds, managed to create a family line that spans generation after generation until you show up so it could end with you. So we could replace you with a guy from Pakistan.
Care about things that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a fucking lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care?
Look how absolutely mad he is over the fact that people want families.
Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, if they...
What does this even mean? See, I think most people want children. I think most people, ultimately, if they can envision their dream, it will be that they marry someone of the opposite sex, because this is the normal perspective. I know you have to be politically correct. No. Most men want a woman as their wife that loves them tremendously, that respects them a lot, and that gives them a family. Most women want a husband to take care of them and love them and give them many children. This is ultimately what most people want. Now, again, Hassan Piker, living in retard online territory, who will never have children probably. You know, this dude out here, he's so woke. He's out here advocating for the end of civilization.
He changed hot Cheetos. If they changed the recipe of hot Cheetos, if they changed the recipe of, like, I don't know, Dr. Pepper or something, and you fucking freaked out about that, that makes sense, right? Like, that's precisely what your life is about. But as far as, like, LARPing about starting families.
Bro, speaking for himself. Look at this dude. He's so miserable. This is a lonely-ass man who's out here shocking his dog every day, advocating for the end of Western civilization. And he can't even fathom why people might want families.
And whatnot. This is something that I never understand. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Because it's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life.
Look how mad he is. He's so mad. It's like people actually want families. And he's like, oh, you're never going to experience that because you play video games and you're right wing. You're right wing and you play video games. You're never going to experience that. Why would you even want that? Look, he's so mad. And obviously, part of this is molding because this guy, this guy's never going to have a family. All right, even though that's probably what he wants to deep down. He's sacrificing it for, you know, importing retards into our country.
Your life, right?
Gigantic Hassan pause. Because this dude can't fucking say a sentence straight.
Also, I will say, Japanese game, putting a child in there, you're playing with fire, okay? Don't get mad at me for saying this, but...
That's right. Everyone that wants children is a pedophile. This is the leftist mindset. Look how demented he is. This is the largest leftist streamer. This is the type of person that is molding the minds of children across the world.
I feel like any Japanese game you put like a child, it's a little. It's gonna invite maybe the worst possible fandom. You know, I know it's not like that. I'm sure the game is not like that, but there will be people who take it like that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have children because there might be people that are pedophiles. Great argument, Hassan. Again, anyway, I think it's truly incredible stuff. So I want to show you what this game actually has done because it's truly incredible. It's actually amazing. Look how insane this is. All right. So this is Pragmata, a new video game with a cute kid. Pragmata is destroying years of leftist programming and activating women's ovaries in real time.
Yes. She's so cute. Helmet on.
Bro, look at her cry. She's crying. This is a leftoid Twitch streaming foid out here streaming for lonely men in their basements to watch. All right, I'm sorry, man. The simps probably love her. I never heard of her. But she's out here and she's playing this video game and it is breaking her because she sacrificed this. All right, and this is what every one of these modern girl bosses have done. She sacrificed this. For what? For what? For men in your chat?
Diana! Just puts his helmet on, he's like, mid-conversation, I'm out.
Bruh.
So good.
Bro,
yes.
the reaction's insane. Activating ovaries in real time. Look, man, I said this before and I'll say it again. Nothing radicalizes a woman like having a husband or children. It radicalizes the shit out of people. So the streamer actually responded to this clip, and I think this is awesome. And I'm including this for transparency's sake. So strange seeing my content pop up here, taking my content without any credit to push your narrative. It makes me actually so sick. Well, too bad. I don't actually give a fuck. I was just playing a game. I really love sharing a wholesome moment. I'm going to touch grass. This is enough internet. I don't care, actually. Of course, I'm going to use your wholesome moments for my advantage. And in fact, it's to the advantage of a lot of people. Because ultimately, this is what people want. This is actually what people want. And no one wants to admit it, obviously, because they're too busy being brainwashed. All right, but look, this is how every streamer is reacting to this game. Every woman reacts to this game and is just a puddle of feels.
Ta-da! Is this supposed to be when we first boarded the tram?
Uh-huh. I drew it. It's for
Bro,
you.
and she's like on the verge of tears.
Look at that. You wrote your name.
You could have had this by now, by the way, but you don't. Because you traded it for the girl boss lifestyle of playing video games for lonely men on Twitch.
Name too. Not half bad, kiddo.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's adorable and cute and Jesus Christ.
Like, actually holding back tears. It's crazy. All right, so Reddit mods are now removing posts and banning people from subreddits for praising the game. All right, because obviously it doesn't fit into the ecosystem of you must be a miserable leftoid lonely loser for life. All right, so this is what Reddit is doing to Pragmata. The game launched 2 days ago, 97% positive on Steam, critics love it, players love it, Reddit mods are silently deleting every positive post about it. No reason. One guy posted, wonderful game, 10 out of 10 with his trophy screenshot, removed by r/PlayStation mods within an hour. All right, you're not even allowed to praise it because it's pushing family values? No. Man, and it's so wonderful watching these e-girls lose their mind over it. Watching a fictional kid play with toys for a few seconds and thinking that's what raising an actual human being is probably a sign that you have zero idea what it looks like to be a parent, and you should not base your decision off of a video game character. I am a e-girl, and I'm explaining to you why you actually shouldn't have children. I'm an anti-natalist. You should die alone and miserable. Well, anyway, e-girl, who obviously has no idea what it's like to raise a child is the source of happiness in your life. I hope one day you could realize that and get to that point. I pray for your soul. Miserable voids, bro. All right. Jarvis, scan for a father figure. True. Just objectively true. Jarvis, please find out the Jarvis. Scan for a father figure. None detected, sir. Well, that's too sad. Having children is awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of work, true. And it's awesome, and it is the light in your life. It truly is. And all these miserable fatherless e-girl foids and retards that are alone are trying to convince you it's not the case so they feel a little better about themselves. Right? Just look at the reactions. Everyone has these reactions. The VTubers.
How was that? I want to do my part. I know I can help.
Hug her.
Glad to hear it.
Wait, my audio.
Yeah. Just absolutely wrecking every single one of these these people that plays it. Diana makes me want to have a baby ASAP. I can't do it anymore. Yeah, like, bro, it's crazy. This is just like activating the neurons on all the voids. Bro, you are getting birthmarks soon.
Shit. My daughter is so capable. I'm so proud of you, Diana!
Bro. And it's just shredding these people. Yeah, it's honestly, and Hassan Piker is against it, obviously. Decades of anti-natalist propaganda vaporized. It's honestly pretty insane stuff. It really is. And it just speaks to the core of the human experience, which obviously leftists hate because they hate the human experience, which is why they're so desperately trying to do everything in their power to hate it and replace your culture with some other culture. And you know, the funniest thing is, I think most propaganda gets vaporized easily just the moment you engage with anything that's actually real life. You know, you'll have someone that's incredibly pro-trans rights, and then they get raped in a girl's bathroom by a dude with a dick that identifies as a she. Everyone's pro-gay people adopting babies until all of a sudden, the baby's asking for mama, and the dads don't want to give her.
Jesus, man, that's sad, bro.
And this is a guy who's pro-gay marriage. So again, the reality is, reality's awesome, and reality will bitch slap you in the face. All of that propaganda gets vaporized the moment reality hits. You're anti-racist until you go into a bad neighborhood. You're pro-migration until a migrant rapes and eats a goat and behind you. Both, the same goat, which just happened in France. Propaganda can only survive in a vacuum, which is why you have the pro-COVID lockdown party, the pro-just engage with everything in your little algorithm party, the pro-I'm just going to introduce you into this objectively fake moral bubble. From school to college, you will never break out of the little mindset and will call you a racist if you even wrong think for a moment. But all that dies the moment you interact with reality for 5 minutes. God created a beautiful world, and it's time to take part in it. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was today's video. It all tied up super nicely. This was the deep dive into all the things that are happening. All of the things, from Trump to Pope to Iran, all the way to the migrant situation and the fake reality foisted upon you all. Do not let the brain rot win. Thanks for watching. Your support, it means the world. I actually super appreciate it. My entire channel still demonetized. I will keep you updated if that changes. Still absolutely fucking brutal that I am completely unemployed. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, I have my Patreon linked in the description if you want to support me. You could go and pledge over there. You will get nothing in return. I don't want you to think that you're going to be getting infinite stuff. Maybe I'll think of some way to make additional content there. But the reality is I feel like the message is too important. And I'm not willing to sacrifice it just because I'm not getting my shekels on these videos. God is good. He must have a plan. But this is fucking brutal for me. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Check out the link in the description to my sponsor as well. Definitely subscribe. And share me to all your friends. Let everyone know the blue retard is out here getting canceled daily. Every day, another deep dive. Bye.